Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SEO0320 representing JVS. To my great excitement, I was able to check out Us yesterday, and I'm gonna be very frank and honest with you guys. This is gonna be a non-spoiler review, but I cannot wait to talk about the spoiler review because when I left the theater, like, I just had this lingering thought and process about stuff. But the thing is, this is very different than Get Out. Get Out, you know, I was thinking about the layered philosophy and the meaning and excerpt. With this film, it was kind of like, man, how did I miss this? Man, did that really just happen? Man, like, what does this mean kind of situation? Not so much like, what's the deeper meaning, but what is really the ramifications of what happened? You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's this movie in a nutshell because it's presented with an all-star cast. I'll go through the listing real quick. Peter Nyong'o, Wilson Duke, Elizabeth Moss, of course you got Yaya and Anna DeWeep. Anna DeWeep was Starfire in Titans, and then Yaya, he was Black Manta in Aquaman. And I mean, just Winston Duke and Lupita Nyong'o themselves was just serious. But Jordan Peele, of course, is very much so immersed into this story because he wrote it, and you can feel it, and it's it's as insane as Get Out was, but without the metaphorical certain things. Like, this is more so like a layered compound of a film that will really hit you and engage you. But I would say this isn't necessarily like a horror film, more so than a thriller that just has horror elements in it. I think that's the best way of kind of describing this. But masterclass acting across the board. So I'll go ahead and talk about Lupita. Lupita in her role as, I think her name is Adele. I'm totally messed it up. I'll just spell it. Adelaide Wilson. She's an interesting character because in the very beginning, like, you kind of see that something happened to her early on, and it is really interesting and engaging, like, kind of how that kind of scoped her as a mom, being very overprotective. And then, you know, her and Winston Duke just kind of decided they wanted to go to the beach, you know, and like they wanted to go to their little summer house and kind of take the kids. The kids are very engaging and interesting because one of the younger boy, he kind of is like getting into stuff and like he likes kind of playing around and being funny, whereas the daughter is really more reserved. But it's evident, you know, Lupita favors the younger son because she's very overprotective of him. And then that's where we go into the movie in a nutshell. From this point, all the craziness ensues, which I'm not going to describe. I will say that from the trailers, you can apparently see that there's, you know, doppelgangers of their whole entire family. Now, the thing about the way that the doppelgangers come off, like, they are not just the very opposite, the polar opposite, but they are just creepy and just have their own way of communicating, own way of doing stuff. But Lupita, in her nuances, in her performance, not just her voice. Like, I heard about, you know, what she was doing with her vocal cords to try to, I don't want to talk about, like, what the reason why, because that would kind of feel like it's a spoiler, but what she was able to do with it and the way she was able to sound is so creepy when you first hear it. And then on top of that, her movements and what she does. But that goes for the whole entire family. Like, Winston Duke's character, like, legit looks like he towers over Winston Duke. And I think the thing is, like, I wonder how long a period of time they went and filmed both. Because I know that Jordan Peele had stated that they filmed both scenes. Like, it wasn't like they had stand-ins. Like, they went and did both from both. And so I'm curious to see, like, how long a period of time before they went and did this, or like they just used prosthetics to make them look like this. But like, legit, like, the whole entire family was coming for the whole entire family, and it was crazy, man. Like, it was so thrilling and scary, and at the same time, I was like, what do they want? Like, the whole entire time when this is happening, I was like, what is the prime objective here? Elizabeth Moss plays a really good role with her actor Tim. So it's Kitty and Josh Tyler. It's kind of like the friends of the family, and they are they are hilarious. Like, they're really funny, but when stuff starts to go down, like, that's when, like, there's some really good performances are given from both actors for sure. And I think that it's a bigger scope than I realized. I kind of thought this was gonna be more self-contained, but no, like I said, there's layers to this that I can't really bring up. So let's go into a couple other things. So the soundtrack and the score, oh my gosh, the soundtrack. When you first see the opening titles and like when it's kind of like this long stretch out and like I was like, yo, this is everything. Because I think I was next to Joe at the time. It was like, oh, hey. I was like, this is a dope soundtrack. Very innovative, very different, unlike anything I've heard before. Get Out was the same exact vein of that, but there's a theme that happens in this one. You can hear it in the very first trailer, but there's something that happens, and that kind of is like a running trend, and I was like, this is so creepy, but so awesome. So the score and the soundtrack are amazing. The performances, again, Lupita to me could easily win, or at least get nominated for an Oscar for this performance. Bar none, one of her best performances I've ever seen. So everybody else did a really good job, but it's just, she went above and beyond. There's, in the third act, this moment with her and her doppelganger that I don't even want to say what happens in context, but all I can say is it is beautiful acting and well choreographed and well filmed. The cinematography for this is amazing. There's some amazing shots. There's some amazing wide shots. There's some ominous feeling. Like, there's one moment where Lupita's character, when she's a lot younger, there's this backdrop where it is just the ocean, and like the sky is filled with like lightning, and like when the lightning starts to hit, it was kind of just like, it was filmed so perfectly, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like almost like a precursor to what was kind of to come, like storm is coming kind of thing. So metaphorically speaking, there's a lot of different metaphors, a lot of different Easter eggs that's gonna make you want to see this movie over and over and over again. Not so much for a hidden message. I think there is one towards like the third act that I kind of got lost in translation with. It was more so for me just how layered and how well done, and just at a certain point I realized the twist that's at the end is insignificant to the twist that was happening throughout the whole entire film. I guess that's the best way of kind of putting it, because there was something that I realized about, you know, the doppelgangers in the family and other things, and I was like, I totally just missed all of that. And that's why I can't wait to talk about a spoiler review, because yeah, I'm gonna go and film a spoiler review probably right now, just because I want to keep it fresh on my head. But to give you context, I legit like went home, started looking at the Disney Channel. I saw the one with Jet Li on. I was like, I'm gonna put that on. I had to put anything I could, because I couldn't keep thinking about stuff that kind of happened, you know what I'm saying? So if you're worried about this being something that's gonna be on your mind lingering, this will definitely do that. But I don't think it's more so because of the horror side of it, more so than just the ramifications of what happened. But again, I think that Jordan Peele did a really great job. I think that he added a really good layered script, really good writing. I don't think this was as deep of a message as Get Out, but I do think that this was a primarily amazing film. You gotta go and check it out. It's coming out come Thursday, so definitely go and check it out. Shout out to Howard University, because they did send us an invite to be able to go, because Jordan Peele, Lupita Nyong'o, and Winston Duke are gonna be actually at the Howard Theater and presenting the film today and doing a Q&A session. So shout out to them. Thank you for inviting us. I can't talk about the in-betweens of that, but yeah, I'm so excited to see the movie again. So anyway, number rating 9.5 out of 10. I mean, I think the 0.5 I'll leave off is because I don't feel like there was necessarily a hidden message that I could really pinpoint. I think it's there, but I don't think it was as significant and like just well-rounded as more so than the ramifications that actually happened to the family, with the doppelgangers, and just an overlying arc. But again, this might change. I might give it a 10 later on, but right now I'm resting at a 9.5 out of 10. Shout out to Jordan Peele. Shout out to the entire cast. You guys did an amazing job. And I can't invite my wife to see this, because I know that she's gonna be thinking about this over and over again. So I'm not pushing that for my wife to go see it. But I'll talk to you guys a bit later on. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Did I miss anything? Make sure you check out my spoiler review. It's coming. Alright? Peace, guys.